Today's video is a reset. We are resetting. We are starting over. I'm dead serious this time. I'm starting to sound like I did back in the day when I kept saying, we start on Monday, we start tomorrow, we start next week, we start after. We're done with the excuses. I've been maintaining my weight now for just over a year. I've been on my GLP journey for 2 years now, over 2 years, and I've maintained for about a year, fluctuated 5 pounds within a 5 pound range. I recently went back to Dr. Z, which was my original doctor that put me onto these medications, and I haven't even filled the prescription. It's been about 3 weeks. I've been making my last vial stretch out because I take it about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, just because of cost and all that. I know you guys keep asking me, why are you not on Manjaro anymore? Or why are you not on Zepbound? My insurance unfortunately does not cover any of those weight loss medications, not even Contrary, which he recently wanted to put me on. But anyways, long story short, this video is about just a complete reset. We're starting over. I'm starting fresh. I'm starting as if it's day one of my journey. I'm starting as if my start weight is 191 pounds because I was 191 pounds this morning, and we are officially starting our reset. So if you are recently put onto a GLP journey, or you recently got onto these medications, or you've been watching me for a while and you yourself have found you're stuck, or you've been maintaining, or maybe you've reached your goal and you're just still here for the journey, then welcome, you guys. It is Crissy G, and if you are new here, welcome to the channel, and if you were back, welcome back, my loves. It's so good to be here today talking to you guys. So today is Monday, and I am not going to do a bunch of edits on this video. I'm literally just going to speak and just put it out there and just let you guys know where I'm at on all this and where I plan to go. So as you all know, I recently did get I recently went back to Dr. Z to get put on the compound. I was already on it, but he's just kind of leaving me on there. I've been taking the 0.25 dose. I've been stretching it because I don't take my injection weekly anymore, just from a cost standpoint, because it's pricier than it used to be. And I've been trying to stretch it out as long as I can, so I'll try to go a week and a half. Is that helping me? It's helping me kind of maintain, but it's really hard to maintain when you're hungry all the time and you're able to consume a lot more calories. So that being said, this is why I said this is the reset. Why? Because I am living proof to you all that say this medication doesn't work. I've been on it for a few weeks and I haven't really lost any weight. You really have to look at what you're doing on your journey and what all you're doing to help this medication, because as all of us know that have been on GLPs, it is not a magic bullet. It is not going to magically make your fat melt away. Everyone around me that has been really successful, I mean, I'm talking about my mom's lost over 100 pounds, my cousins lost over 100 pounds. They blew me out the water. I started this journey about 40 pounds ahead of them, and they just blew right through me. They both ended up losing over 100 pounds. And I'm also been around long enough to be around people, you know, who are around me on a daily basis, who've been on these medications and lost 10, 15 pounds at most, because they did not change their lifestyle. So yes, initially the medication helped them reduce their caloric intake, but ultimately they didn't change any of their habits. They didn't make any healthier decisions. They didn't make any lifestyle changes, and therefore it reflects on the scale. They had no interest in that. Their only interest was being on this medication to help them regulate their blood sugar levels because they are diabetics, but had zero interest in losing weight. Okay, and the people who are really successful are, some are diabetics, some are not, but have lost a ton of weight. So is it possible? Absolutely it is. And some of these people that are not losing much of the weight are men. And, you know, we tend to think men lose it so much easier. My husband being one of them. I know you guys have been wanting to get updated. The reason why it's so hard to keep talking about our journey is because it just becomes repetitive, right? We do the same things day in, day out. We don't really lose any significant weight. We kind of stay stuck. We gain 1 week, we lose 1 week, we gain, we stay the same. It's just the same thing over and over. So sometimes I get in my own way and I'm like, what do I talk about? Like, I'm doing the same things that I was doing 2 years ago when I started my journey. And so kind of the same thing for my husband. Like, there hasn't been anything hugely impressive to speak on. Like, he's just kind of been maintaining. And he's another one that, like, he's a man, he is diabetic, so he is still on it. He's still on a low dose. He just picked up his 5 milligram box yesterday of Manjaro. You guys, you know how hard it is for me to go and pick up his medication, swipe my card for $25, and be like, why? Why can't I do this anymore? It's the hardest thing for me, but I'm just happy that he's been able to stay on it and to keep his weight loss. So he's been stuck teeter-tottering between 229 and 225. So those of you who've been on this for a long period of time know how accurate that is. Like, you teeter-totter between the same 3 to 5 pounds back and forth. And so it's been really frustrating for him also. So he hasn't lost any significant amount of weight. I will say that the weeks he's very strict on his caloric intake and the weeks that he fasts all day and then just has a healthy dinner, he will lose the 5 pounds, and then he goes back to eating a little bit more consistently the following week. Like, he'll have lunch or he'll have breakfast, so he'll break his fast a lot earlier in the day, and then those are the weeks he goes right back up to 229 to 230 even, and he gets really frustrated and he feels like, oh my god, like, I will not lose weight unless I reduce my caloric intake a whole lot. So it is very frustrating. Same thing for me though, and it just feels like I am going to forever, like, this is my lifestyle. My lifestyle will forever be to be mindful of my choices, because they will reflect and I will start to gain the weight back. So as you all know, I maintained for a long time at 185, 187, 185. I was kind of teeter-tottering there. And then recently I got bumped to 190, and I kind of just been consistently at 190. I will drop all the way to like 187 on the weeks that I do really well. And then I get a little silly and again, myself make poor choices, and then I get bumped right back to 190. So it is mainly my fault. I will admit that. It is very hard. It is very hard to admit to everyone that you are not making the best choices and that you know that that's the reason why you're at 190. So I know 190 is still a lot, and for some of you, you feel like 190, that was my start weight. I now weigh 140 or whatnot. My start weight was at 241, and that's not my heaviest. My heaviest was 260, but when I started this journey, I started at 241. And so for me, 190, I mean, when I was 185, I was ecstatic. Like, that was, I've not been under the 200 mark in over 20 years. So those of you who've been with me for a while know that that was like a huge thing for me when I finally went under 200. And I am mortified to get to that. So I'm putting my foot down now. Like, no, we're not doing this. We're not getting to 197 and then feeling, oh my gosh, I got to get down. No, we're doing it now so that I'm right there at 180's doorstep. So how am I going to do this? Well, obviously, I did change my lifestyle a lot. I have kept a lot of the good habits that I learned along the way. I don't view a meal as it having to be a 3-course meal. I don't have to have all the sides and the bells and whistles with a meal. You know, lunch was always like a structured lunch. For me, lunch can be a bag of edamame now. It could be just not eating anything. There's some days where I still have really good days where I'm not hungry at all, and I can bypass lunch or even have something small like a cucumber salad or a piece of fruit. And go on about my day. And then there's times when I'm just ravenous, like hunger is knocking at my door as the minute I wake up, and those are the mornings that are way more difficult for me. So when I'm not hungry, I can literally have a black coffee with a little bit of Skinny Girl and I'm completely fine. But there's some mornings where it's like I'm eating crackers with this, or I eat turkey sausage and cottage cheese and my coffee, but I'll put creamer in my coffee. So the mornings that I want to fast, I'll just drink my black coffee. But the mornings that I'm like starving, I tend to want to add more calories. Like, I'll want creamer. Like, I just want something to satisfy my hunger. And that's the wrong way to go about it, right? Like, it shouldn't matter whether I feel that hunger strike or not. I should be consistent in having just my black coffee so that I'm able to fast. I know some of you feel like I should be able to have 3 healthy meals. That is not how my metabolism works. That is not how I lose weight. I literally have to do good and fast. Like, that is the most consistent way for me to be able to lose weight, is by fasting. Can I lose weight if I have a small lunch or whatnot? Yes, it just comes off a little bit slower. So in the beginning, I was able to consistently lose 10 pounds a month. Now, mind you that I was a lot heavier in the beginning. I started in at, like I said, 241. So losing 10 pounds a month was not very difficult, because just cutting down on my caloric intake, immediately you could see the reflection on the scale. Now, I did always preach that you should be able to eat what you want on this medication, because what you don't want to do is completely cut out everything and, you know, only eat protein and vegetables and some fruits, because once you go back to a normal lifestyle, you will regain it just that much faster. And I think that's why I've been able to maintain for this long, because it's been over a year now that I've been teeter-tottering between 185 and just recently up to 190. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I didn't completely cut out any food group. I still enjoyed things that I like to this day. I enjoy things that I like and not really worry too much about it. And I've been able to manage my weight within that 5 pound mark. That being said, you do have to be very mindful of your caloric intake. So make sure that you consistently put your weight and height and age into a caloric calculator, into a calorie calculator, because it changes every 10 pounds, or I think it's like every 10 to 15 pounds, you will have to adjust your consumption. And that is the hardest part for me, right? Is having to drop more and more. So now, starting in at 190, I have to reduce my calories that much more to lose, a pound or two a week, versus when I started at 240. And I'm older now. I'm 2 years older now, and I'm even more sedentary because I haven't followed through with my daily exercise. Exercising important when you lose weight? Yeah, exercising is important for health reasons, health benefits, your heart, your lungs, your stamina, all that good stuff. It's not necessary for weight loss, because weight loss has more to do with your dietary intake more so than with your exercise, because it takes a lot to burn 100 calories, and it's a lot easier to not eat those 100 calories, right? So at the end of the day, does it work even better in conjunction? Absolutely. It is a powerhouse when you combine both healthier lifestyle and exercise. But if you are starting off at a really heavy weight where you're uncomfortable, right now it's in the heat of summer, it's over 100 degrees for many states across the US. So I can understand why you would be hesitant to want to do any type of exercise. I am not a gym kind of person. I hate walking into a gym. I just feel like everybody's watching. I feel like everybody can tell that I'm clueless. This is probably not the case. This is all in my head. I'm sure if I walk in, no one even cares and no one's paying attention. But in my mind, I feel ridiculous when I'm at a machine and I'm like, yeah, how do we use this? How do I look like I know what I'm doing? And it gives me too much anxiety, and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather just walk around the block or jog around the block or ride my bike or do things that I enjoy to get my body moving. So we are supposed to start walking again. My husband and I were like, we really need to get to it. I used to I enjoyed so much getting up early morning when it's still kind of cool outdoors and getting my walk in first thing in the morning. It just made me feel good. I got my day started. I felt like accomplished early in the morning because I felt like I got my run or jog or walk out of the way. And I kind of want to get back to that. Now that only works for me on the weekends because I get up really early to get myself to work on the weekday, so that wouldn't work. And in the evenings, usually after everything is said and done, like the last thing I want to do is go walking or do any type of exercise. But I am going to make a conscious effort to try to start incorporating it at least once or twice a week so that we can get that going, and then plus do the weekends again. So if you all have been with me for forever, then I appreciate you guys. We recently hit 10,000K, which makes me, I'm just over the moon about that still. I cannot believe that I have 10,000 of you guys wanting to watch my content. So I'm eternally grateful for all those that have stuck with me from the beginning, who have been here to witness my journey, who consistently come on here and help support each other. I love that about you all, and I'm so proud of our community. So thank you all for everyone who's been through it with me. I do plan to do a giveaway. I had already told myself that I was going to post a video before we hit 10,000 to promote a giveaway just of some of the things that I love. I'm going to have my Oprah moment and be like, this is something I love and I want to share it with you all. So I want to give away some of the things that have helped me through my journey, just that I consistently use on a daily basis. I want to share those items with you all. So stay tuned. I do plan to do a giveaway soon. So make sure that if you're not subscribed to the channel that you do that. And if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button so we can keep going through and reaching people who may need the support like you all found here. So I, again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave it in the comments how you're doing on your journey and how long you've been with us and what's really been the best thing for you all. So I want to know what has helped you change your lifestyle since being on this journey, right? Because we have to make sure that we are consistent with these changes, and I really want to know from you all, what has helped you? Like for me, it's been the Skinny Girl products. That's something that I will never ever lose again. Like I love her products and they really, really helped me in so many ways. I use them in so many different ways. I don't even know if people, we never talk about all the other ways we use them. Like I will add them to oatmeal. I will add it to yogurt. I will add it to smoothies, to my coffee, to my teas, to my water. Like I add Skinny Girl to so many different things, and it really, really helps me curb that craving, or help me through that. So that is something that has helped me tremendously through my journey. So I want to know what you guys have changed that you started doing when you started your journey, but have kept going throughout and haven't stopped yet. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, talk soon.